WCB podcast. It's episode 701. We are now counting down until 800, which is completely unnecessary. But we like to have fun with those like milestone episodes. Kind of mixes it up a little bit in the library. Got to have fun with it. Did you listen to the full episode of 700? Ew. If you did, God bless you. You're something special. And we are out of control. A lot of you guys understand our humor. We appreciate it. There's over 1,000 comments on that episode on Spotify alone. We're going to be picking some winners for all those great prizes here in a couple weeks. So if you won, you will hear about it. If you didn't win, you probably won't hear from us. But one way you can come see us, we are going to be, March 8th? Weekend of March 8th. Let me pull that up so I know exactly and don't screw it up and mess up the whole plug. We are going to be in Des Moines, Iowa at the Iowa Deer Classic. That is March 7th, 8th, and 9th in Des Moines, the Iowa Event Center. We are booth 912. If you've been there before, same aisle that we've always been in. We are looking forward to it. That's our 10-year anniversary, actually. So, that's crazy. So stop by. We are going to have big 25-ounce 10-year anniversary koozies and special 10-year anniversary stickers for handouts. So come see us. We got new merch, more new merch on the back end on the way. So trying to mix it up. Come out and see us. We would love to high-five you, shake your hand, and introduce you to smelling salts and maybe some Malort. I don't know. That could happen. The following weekend we're going to be that is March 14th, 15th, 16th. We'll be in Columbus, Ohio at the Open Season Sportsman's Expo. You can come see us there. And then the following weekend, March 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, we'll be in Peoria, Illinois at the Illinois Deer Classic. That's also a really great show. Love that one too. Come see us in Des Moines. That's the next show, March 7th, 8th, and 9th in Des Moines, Iowa. Booth 912. Come see us. Anyway, off of 700, that was a doozy. Sorry for all the vulgarness. But also, we appreciate you guys. And we also appreciate our partners for WCB because they will somehow still support us through doing some crazy shit like we did on episode 700. But that's what makes this place beautiful. You know, we're not here to scrape tactics down your throat. We're here to have a good time and maybe learn something along the way. The podcast is presented by Grizzly Coolers. Code WCB saves you coin on nearly everything on Grizzly's website, from hunting blinds, accessories to drinkware. The new drinkware is fucking out of this world. They have a new Trump series out, which is super sick. I'm excited to haul that around and piss off liberals everywhere we go. So check that out. They're always doing something cool. They're always innovating. They're pushing the boundaries on like the lifestyle of like what drinkware and encompassing hunters and backing hunters and good people, and love Grizzly. I can't stress that enough, how awesome that company is and how good they are to us. Code WCB at Grizzly. They're always on the hunt. They got your back. Big time. Be thinking about that foundation clover for frost seeding. Code WCB 2025. Huntworth. Be gearing up on that Vertec. Code WCB 15. Get into that Vertec for turkey season. Loophole Optics, Performance Eyewear. They just dropped a couple new spotting scopes. The BX4 Gen 2s are out. The new rangefinder that'll mark pens for you. It's just, they're killing it, okay? Just trust us when we say Loophole's killing it. That's a great company. Been partnered with them for a while. Trophy line, mobile hunting, from the saddle game of it especially. But even then, if you're a hybrid hunter, if you do both, they have something for you, from packs to ropes and carabiners and all the stuff you need. Hoyt Archery, new on the scene with WCB, made that big announcement. It seemed to go over well. I don't think a big surprise for a lot of people, knowing my history and shooting Hoyt and growing up shooting Hoyt, and the stars aligned and we're back. Jordan put together a great promo video for that. And you can use code WCB at Hoyt Archery. Saves you 15% on soft goods and branded merch. It doesn't work on bows because Hoyt wants you to go to your local dealer and support your local dealer, which is how it should be. But if you want to get some shirts and hats and whatever else and stickers and goodies and home goods and stuff like that, you can use that code WCB, Hoyt Archery, or Hoyt.com, and it'll save you 15% on soft goods and branded merch. Pretty cool. Novix tree stands, the Echo, the Hilo, the Raider series. They got the ladder stand if you want it. They got the hybrid. Hybrid's a slick setup. I love the concept of that. Novix is killing it. Made here, made in America, not Canada. Just kidding. Love our Canadian listeners. There's like 4 of you guys. Shout out to you guys. Camo Fire, revolving deals, especially if you have a hunt coming up this fall and you need to get some stuff. I'd keep a pulse on camofire.com and be looking for those deals. Like every 12 hours, it refreshes with different deals. Pretty cool concept. Victory Archery, trying hard to get these boys in the studio. Still waiting on getting them all the way in from California to Illinois, which it's like might as well just be the same state. Yeah, getting them out here. I want to nerd out with the boys on components and all that stuff. But Victory Archery, if your local dealer doesn't have them, you can order them through the Arrow ID Builder through blackovis.com, and you can use code WCB on top of that. Save yourself a little bit of money. Dialed Archery, the new Proof is out. Blackgate Trail Cameras, the R4G, in my opinion, one of the best cell cams on the market. Aluma Trailers, all aluminum welded construction to get you on your way, and a nice quality trailer from side-by-sides to tractors to whatever you're hauling. Aluma's got it figured out. Made in Iowa. Also made in Iowa's Old Barn Taxidermy and G2 Taxidermy Supply. They're killing it out there. Sam Gaylord's getting more and more into the turkey, so keep them in mind for your spring turkey thoughts. If you kill a bird that you want mounted or want something special, Sam is a motivated guy when it comes to doing turkey mounts. If you want something unique, out of the box, something fun, creative, it's refreshing to take the memory of your hunt there and have somebody want to help you make it memorable with the mount, not just taking your money and getting you out the door. They care and they love it, and that's why we love Old Barn. Deercast, our preference in mapping, deer predictive tools. There's a little social platform aspect with Deercast. We actually got some. Maybe we should do some giveaways. We got some Deercast Elite Plus 1-year membership cards in here. Maybe we'll do some, maybe if you're on Patreon, we'll do some giveaways. We got quite a stack. That's a good idea. I think we'll do that. I think you guys will realize how awesome Deercast is. It's an underrated tool. It's gone through some updates, and it gets better and better every year. Rogue Ridge e-bikes, still have not broke my collarbones. That's good. I'm going to get mine out and do some shed hunting and just tear it up. They're badass. Wish we had a code for them. We don't. And by the way, if you want to check what codes and discounts we have, workingclassbowhunter.com/partners. Evolution Outdoors, the Broadhead's a new partner. Code WCB will save you some coin there. But Evolution makes a nasty, nasty broadhead. We tore it up in Texas, and they got the turkey wrecker. We're gonna take that out this spring and try and kill a bird or two with the Hoyts and some badass setups. AAE, Arizona Archery Enterprises. We have a code there. WCB saves you 10% for fletchings and glue and archery accessories. The Prophecy drop away rest. The thing's badass. And we got some WCB fletchings on the way. We'll make an announcement when those are live, but those will be available on workingclassbowhunter.com shop. Rat Cub. Rat Cub's in right now, boys and girls. RH1, RH2 for sheds. It's a great solution for your taxidermy if you never got that done from last fall from your deer. Kids bucks, you have a kid shoots his first small buck and you want to mount it in a clean, respectful way, but don't want to spend $800 on a shoulder mount. Rat Cub's a beautiful option. So check them out. Code WCB or click the link in the episode description. Mountain Ops code WCB. We were just at NWTF and got that limited sweet tea lemonade. Pretty sweet. For some reason, anything with a turkey on it's collectible to us. And that'll do it for this week for our partners. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Sorry for being a little long-winded. This is a fun one. Mark Drury, Wade, and Perry in the studio. I feel like they opened up a little bit more on this about stuff you don't normally hear the guys talk about, talking trespassers and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. But also congratulations to Mark. We recorded this episode before NWTF, but we got to go watch him at NWTF get inducted into the Hall of Fame. Pretty cool, man. And he's the best. It's crazy that, looked up to Mark Drury and all these guys, and now I call Mark like a close friend, It's It's like one of those things. I told Mark before the show at NWTF, he's always trying to get me to go, and I finally went. I'm like, dude, if I show up and you cool guy me, I'm going to be pissed. And he actually like texted me, where the hell are you? So it was cool. It's pretty neat to be close with him, especially looking up to him the way I always have since I was a kid. So he's one of the best, and we love having him in. I think you guys will enjoy this episode. So thank you for the support. We love you, and hopefully we'll see you in Des Moines here in a couple weeks.
Hey everybody, this is Mark Drury with Drury Outdoors.
Hey all you deer hunters, this is Jimmy John.
This is Jared Mills.
Hey everybody, this is Caitlin Moss.
Hey guys, this is Jared Scheffler from Whitetail Adrenaline.
What's up guys, Josh Sparks from Midwest Whitetail.
Hey, this is Nick Mutt from Bone Collector.
This is Chancey Walters.
Working Class Bow Hunter. Working Class Bow Hunter. Working Class Bow Hunter Podcast.
Working Class Bow Hunter Podcast.
WCB.
Working Class Bow Hunter. Working Class Bow Hunter. You're listening to the Working Class Bow Hunter. That's right, this is the podcast for Billy Joe Lunchbucket, the working man, just like me and you. My name's Travis T-Bone Turner from the Bone Collector. Thank you for tuning in.
Those people on that pod, those hosts are a little unhinged.
Working Class. Working Class. Working Class Bow Hunter.
You're listening to my buddies on Working Class Bow Hunter.
Best motherfucking podcast on the planet.
Episode 701 of the WCB pod. Kurt Geyer speaking.
Eric Harmon.
Austin Chandler. Lee Herr.
We're full house sharing mics, going around the table. First time ever in the podcast studio.
Perry Battin.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Mark Drury. I didn't know you guys were that unhinged. Otherwise, we wouldn't have agreed to do this.
I
found that out in the intro.
I think you knew.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be here.
Okay. All right.
And Wade Robinson.
What's up, dude?
Not much, man. Glad to be here.
This is a podcast we've talked about doing with three of you guys all together here in studio for 3 years, probably.
Yeah, a little while.
Schedules are tough. You guys are big deals, is what I've heard on the streets. We're unhinged. You guys are big deals. We're kind of finding this out at the same time, I think.
Only to our wives and mothers, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's exactly, yeah.
Our fan club.
Yeah, that's it. That's the most important thing. But hey, I appreciate you guys coming here to us in the studio. I know it's hard to do, and it's not just right around the corner. So
Our pleasure, brother.
it means a lot.
It means a lot to have us.
Yeah, I was
Thank you.
surprised seeing Wade roll in the door, just having a baby and all. So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, 3 days old now, so.
Yeah, man, I can't believe you got away.
Thank you, Kyle.
All right, now that that's out of the way. Well, what's going on, fellas? It's good to have you. All right, cool. You heard it here first. See you next week.
We're still hungover from deer season, right? You know, like it's such a long grind for us, you know, and by the time it's over, you're still chilling out and relaxing just a touch and starting to do projects on the farm, that type of stuff. And, you know, winters can be really cold and sometimes prohibit certain things you want to get done, but we'll get closer to spring here and get a little busier. But we all stay busy each and every day. There's little things going on. And I've been out in Utah a little bit, and that's been good. And, of course, welcomed Wade's new little girl in, River. He barely made it there. I mean, I think we need to hear that story. I thought Perry and I warned him.
You were you were gone?
Yeah, I was actually in Mexico. So
okay, let's just get that story out of the way, shall we? While we're on it, what were you doing in Mexico, Wade?
That close to a baby being born.
Well, she wasn't supposed to be here till February 7th, so I had a couple weeks grace period, I thought.
Yeah, okay.
And everything was good the Friday before Kyle went in to the doctor's appointment, and that was kind of going to be the determining factor, is if everything was good, I was going to go. If not, if there was a chance, well, I'll probably stay back. But so good buddy Brian Melsna and Mike Enright, they both invited me on this whitetail hunt right across the border, Nuevo Laredo. And I was like, all right, I'm good to go. Everything's good to go. Well, we jump on a plane. We end up in Dallas, got hung up there overnight, stayed there, got up the next morning and drove across the border. Had a great day. Brian killed a nice buck. And the next morning, we were sitting in the blind, got a phone call. Had some deer out in front of me. Actually, there was a doe. She was wounded. Her leg was wounded. And they're like, we want you to shoot this doe, just to management, and she's wounded and whatnot. So I was like, okay, well, waiting for her to get within range. She's about 40, 50 yards and coming. Mm-hmm. And my phone starts ringing. It's like, well, there's only one person that could be calling me right now. So I went ahead and silenced it.
Yeah, I'll call you back. Did you hear with the auto reply? I'm hunting.
No, I didn't know who it was, but I thought it could be. And I got to thinking, well, she has her doctor's appointment today. I probably better check and see if that was her. And pulled out my phone. The deer was still coming, and looked at it. And it was a missed call from Kyle. So I call her back, talk quietly, and she's in tears. I'm in Mexico. I got to go in, have this baby, and you're in Mexico.
Oh, no.
Mark and I both told him not to go.
Yeah. Fair advice.
He talked about it all fall. Hey, I've got this trip in Mexico. It's going to be, mid-January. And Perry and I are like, no chance, brother.
There's no way you're going.
No chance. You're not going, first of all. Well, Kyle did give him the hall pass. He said, go.
Hey, God bless her. That's
But Perry and I were like,
2 weeks.
You could just bank on it. And
2 weeks out from due date.
Yeah.
Well,
and sure enough.
Yep. Got the call. She was in tears and said, well, see what I could do. Well,
hold on, honey. This doe's coming in.
Yeah. Well, we
set the phone down quick.
I was like, well, let me get on. Well, before the doe came on in, I went ahead and looked. There was flights available for that evening. So I went ahead and booked my flight and stuck my phone back in my pocket. Well, I texted her first, said, okay, I got a flight this evening. I'll be there as quick as I can. I put my phone back in my pocket. The doe came in, killed the doe, and we had fun, celebratory beers.
Yeah,
and
of course.
Off to the airport.
Yep, not quite yet. It was probably about 10 o'clock. Then we went and shot some javelina.
Of course.
And then we went to the airport. Got across, no problem.
Yeah.
And like I said, I made it to the airport by, I think 10 after 12, right after midnight.
Yeah.
And she had the baby the next morning. So all was
Oh,
good.
you lucky.
Yeah,
lucky,
I made it
dude.
by about 7 hours. So
Perfect.
He texted me when he landed because we were texting all day, and I'm like, well, how's it going? And when he landed, she was at like 4 centimeters,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And we were like, oh, wow. I was like, that's got to be getting close, but it did take some hours after that. So he did make it. So thankfully.
yeah.
Holy smokes, man. You
lucked out.
You're lucky on several fronts there.
Absolutely.
The front to even go. When did you go before or after they had all the winter stuff down there?
It was like 2 days after. There was like a sheet of ice across everything.
Because we were in South Texas a week buddied up to that winter storm, and our flights got canceled and pushed back a day because they just couldn't handle the ice. So I was like, dude, knowing your luck.
Yeah.
Here
you
comes
go
this
there-
ice storm.
Yeah,
in
and then
Texas.
you can't get out of Texas.
Well, that's why we got hung up in Dallas, is because all that stuff there was, it just got delayed so far, and then we just got hung up at DFW for the night.
Yeah.
Then we had to catch a flight the next morning. So it did actually hinder us a little bit, but we got there, had a lot of fun, and I was in Mexico for about 20 hours.
Great story.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll love it when she gets older.
Yeah, that's what she will, I'm sure. So how was old mama when you got home? Like what kind of?
Just relieved.
You made it.
Yeah, I made it. All's good now. So
Okay, cool.
and the baby's good. Everybody's good. She's so far given us plenty of sleep. So all's good.
Knock on wood, yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of time left ahead of us here.
Oh man, advice to anybody who doesn't have kids: sleep and have sex as much as you can because that goes away real fast.
Absolutely.
So, and that's just honest, is all it is. Do you hear everyone tell you that? And you're like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, right, yeah, right.
No,
It's
It's
a
true.
Real it's a real thing.
do it. Yeah. Well, congratulations. That's a good story. Good to get that one out of the way.
Yeah.
Now she can turn the podcast off, and then at the end you can tell us how it really went down.
Exactly.
The added details you didn't give us on the front end. Man, that's pushing. I think I'd probably lean in the Mark and Perry lane of, hey brother, you're probably not gonna want to go to that one, but also it's hard to not go on a deer hunt, right?
Right.
Yeah, and beforehand we kind of told the outfitter, what the deal was, and he was checking. He had some cartel buddies, and he was checking into some private planes if need be. So
Are you for real?
Yeah. So,
See,
It's
that's
always
what's
nice to have connections.
Mexico. Mexico is crazy. I've hunted coos deer there, and I got invited to go back this year, and I'm like, I'm not going back with Trump getting into office. Like, I mean, maybe you could have gone before, but I don't know what it would be like now.
They were a little nervous about us going into Nuevo Laredo, like they didn't want us to do that. Like before, not as big of an issue, but I think there's a little tension probably right there a little bit right now. So we stayed clear of the city, and everything was good out there on the ranch. So
I'd be curious, like in the coming years, for guys who go to Mexico for whitetails and coos deer and stuff, like what dynamic will be like? Will it get shut down? Like, hey, you just can't go right now until things get sorted. I don't know. Have you ever been to Mexico hunting whitetails?
I've not hunted Mexico. No, I've been to Mexico, but not hunting.
Yeah. Do you have any interest to do it?
Not especially. I mean,
Yeah.
we have plenty to say grace over up here, so
Totally.
I don't necessarily have interest in going hunting there. But
Yeah.
I enjoy the country. You know, I've been to Tijuana 3 times for my hip injections for the stem cells and whatnot, which I think we talked about on another episode. And I took Tracy this last time. She loved it. And Tom and Cindy, which are Taylor's in-laws, went, and we had a blast.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've been to Cancun and I've been to cartel country hunting coos. So it's like I haven't seen anything other than that, you know. And it's like I don't know if I think the one counts as like seeing Mexico, like cultural Mexico, but I don't know. I'm not gonna go for a little while. But like we were in the cartel mix. Like they could have easily just been like, "Hey, dude, you're not going home." And I'd have been like, "Okay,
okay, yeah. What are you gonna say after that?"
Yeah, it's like I don't know what you're saying. So. Cerveza. Okay, cool. All right. Well, I'm glad it all worked out.
Yep,
so you guys talking about being hungover from the season, and I know like there's really the cliche saying there's really no off season because you're always doing something deer related. But if you had to like draw a hard line from like farm prep, whatever it is, to like when season starts, like when about would that line be where season actually starts for you guys? Like you're real hunting
when we start killing,
or just going into kill.
In terms of like seasons opening, well, if we go to Alberta, it's the 1st of September. Wade went elk hunting this year, and he left around the 5th or 7th or somewhere in there.
Yeah, 5th or 6th.
But, you know, the grind, like the daily 12, 14-hour a day going starts September 15th.
Right, because Missouri opens.
Missouri opens. And we went back to back to back the first 3 nights. The third one being a tough track job that lasted through the night and into the next day, and that was like a 20-hour deal. But
we did
those first 3 days. We just
because you called in for a podcast in that time frame, right?
Probably,
or we did something
recall,
then,
but maybe. Yeah, it was a blur. You can ask Perry. We lived it together. Yeah. Wade was I think you were out cutting.
Yeah.
And man. We just didn't sleep those first 3 days hardly at all.
No. Good problems, though. Good reason not to sleep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely.
It was awesome, but it's just a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Once you put one, it was Coon Dog, Mark, then me, and I was the long track job on the liver hit that we had to get a dog for and everything. And, I mean, those 2 days alone, you know, Coon Dog's hit was good, Mark's was good, and then there was a 2-day track pretty much of trying to find my deer. And, you know, those 4 or 5 days kind of aligning, you know, we were
spent.
Strung out.
Yeah.
You know, because it's what you see is the hit. Yeah. What you don't see is all of the effort of production and photos and, you know, all the interviews and, you know, getting deer season 25 out there, 24 at the time out the door. And it's, it's
a lot going on.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot to do it to the level we do with all the different social media requests now, as well as the deer season 2024, you know, and we enjoy it. We love it, or we sure as hell wouldn't do it if we didn't, if we didn't enjoy it like we do. Like we couldn't wait to get up and go the next day, right? You know, but it's a lot of effort, and that pace stayed pretty much the whole season. Like we had a really good season this year.
Really that was my next. You kind of answered it, but like I was going to ask, like, how many days off do you think you actually get from when you start? So say, you know, for elk hunter, you go to Alberta, but say September 15th for sure on a yearly basis. How many days off, if at all, consecutively do you get until season closes?
Consecutively?
Yeah, if any.
Couple for Christmas.
Couple for Christmas. Couple for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I think that's something that a lot of people
that's
don't
through
think
January
about.
to
15.
Whenever you finish does, I don't know what.
Well, I guess we pushed on
to maybe the 20th.
20th.
Yeah.
There's
maybe in 4 months we'll get 5-6 days off, you know, or there'll be a hot day where we go, we're not doing anything today. So if we really counted them, maybe through 4 months there might be 10, maybe. Mm-hmm. But all the others are 12, 14-hour days. Long days. They're really, really long.
Yeah, and I brought that up because it's like, even if I think everybody could do it, they wouldn't.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like I think people see it as like, you're hunting all day. How hard is it? But if you hunted all day for a week,
we've
you're like,
broke some, haven't we, Wade?
Oh yeah,
We've signed some guys up for it, and I mean they're out after a season or two.
Can we talk about that?
Perry's stuck.
Let's talk about it a little bit, because I think that's a perspective that the listener doesn't get to hear very often.
Or see.
Like how hard it is,
or just like
it's the hours. Yeah. Like most people would never ever do it.
Have you had example of a guy like, I'm in, I'll film or do this?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they've left crying. I mean, I'm not lying.
I believe you. I believe
home and
sit down and just bawl like I can't take it anymore. And I don't mind. I don't mind.
It's honest.
It's honest. But it is a mental. It's not for everyone. Not to the level we do it at. Or Terry or Forrest, they're in the same deal.
Yeah.
They do the same amount of hours as we do, and it is a grind.
Fucking grind, Mark was going to say.
It almost sounded like you bleeped me there.
I did. I don't know.
But it wasn't. But it is a flipping grind, man.
And Wade and I, Wade's got a 3-year-old and now a newborn, and I have a almost 1-year-old. You throw
congratulations too.
You throw that in the picture, and it's like,
oh, it's real tough.
Yeah.
Tough. Well, I just wanted to hit that a little bit because
I had a 18-month-old for 5 weeks during the season because Taylor was in with Mabry. So
Grandpa.
Yeah. See, it's just, I think people don't think about it that way. I think it gets overlooked because they don't have to think about it.
They just see the episode.
You're just hunting.
They watch 15 minutes.
Yeah, you're just hunting, guys.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
But that's what they think too. You're only in the tree for 15 minutes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. If I had Mark's farms,
right.
Yeah, it's like, you don't. I mean, you're not actually hunting for these things. People are so out of touch. That's why I try to bring that stuff up because it's anything. If no one hunts for a living, we've talked about that on the podcast before. I think everybody puts that on. I mean, they might just put it on Drury Outdoors as a blanket statement, like, "Oh, these guys hunt for a living." It's like, well, it's no, no one hunts for a living. They really don't. But the grind is what'll get you. Like, I'm tired grinding after deer I want to kill, and I'm not making a film production over my day-to-day hunts like what you guys are doing, and all of us are in that basket, like.
The same people that say that are the people that hunt 15 afternoons in a year and say they grounded out for the season.
Yeah. The grinders, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you hunted 3 weekends. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're on, I don't know, I'm over the whole social media, like, look at me sleeping in my car, I'm getting after it. Like, I get it, you might be, but I don't care.
Fuck that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's a Motel 8 out there for like $59.99.
Yeah, or cheaper if you
AC works.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I get it all, man, but it just doesn't. That's beat down, I think, in the social media world. But
well, that's the new thing right now. Is like you're not a grinder unless you're going out there and seeing 2 does, like that's what everybody thinks like grinding it is.
Shittier hunts are cooler.
Yes, and
they actually make it like the less success they have, the harder they're hunting. Which I mean, it's cool. Go hunt how you want or whatever.
Yeah,
but you almost see this trend of demonizing the ones with success. Like we feel it all the time, man. Yeah. We get hammered.
You guys get hammered probably worse than anybody.
I mean, it's unreal. Yeah. I mean,
it's kind of cool though.
We feel like
we're about numb to it now.
We feel like the Kansas City Chiefs do right now. Right? It's like the whole world hates them. But it's not like that. But if you read social media during certain times of the year, it's like, man, we're out there just killing ourselves and having a blast and happy when we kill, and then you get on social and these people they're just hating you so bad, so deeply, and I'm like, What? No. Why?
What did we do?
What did we do?
You're just too good.
But I see it on a lot of. I go on Michael's stuff and I watch his, and a lot of the people that are doing it, a lot get a lot of hate.
Yeah,
you guys do too.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah, we do.
But so in general, I don't understand where all the hate comes from, whether it be us or anyone else in the industry. It's
just jealousy.
It's head scratching.
It's jealousy, I think, a little bit, but
damn. What are they jealous of? You can go hunt anytime you want to go. Right?
They're miserable.
I guess.
But you ever, like, my favorite thing, this is my favorite thing. When someone talks shit, I'm like, we're pretty numb. It used to kind of bother me. But now I'm kind of like, oh, that's cool. Whatever. But I'll go to their, like, I always click to their profile. And half the time they don't actually have a profile picture. But I find, like, it's always just people with the worst photos.
Yeah.
and I'll screenshot their own photo and just respond to their comment with their own photo. and I do it from the WCB page, and it's just like nice. There was one like hunter lady, and her profile picture was a horse. And I was like, hey, look, lady, I'm not taking hate comments from a horse. And I just like comment back shit like that, like.
I've seen on your guys' stuff too, and ours as well. Like, it'll just be friends or your guys' friends or colleagues or, just homeboys.
Yeah.
They'll jump on them.
Oh, yeah.
And then they'll shut them down.
Yeah, usually just let them do the work, and you don't really have to even say anything.
And that's the crazy thing, too. If you didn't kill anything that season, they're going to give you shit about that, too.
So you might as well
you can't
get shit
win
for killing stuff.
Right.
Yeah, but the thing, I always said this, and this will be the year one of them shows up. I always tell everybody every year, like, all these guys want to talk shit and hate, and then the same guys go to hunting shows, and we'll see them, and they walk right by, and they didn't even see our booth. We're super accessible. Like, you can find us.
Mm-hmm.
And no one that's ever talked shit on the internet has never came to our booth.
They talk shit to you in person.
And an open invite. You can roll on up.
Open invite to have a conversation about it.
Yeah, well, let's have a conversation about it. Or if you're feeling that froggy, jump, bitch. Let's see what's going on. We might have been a little too deep into a kill bottle. I don't know. Yeah. But it's just, that's how the internet works. It's just nobody.
For sure.
It's created this false boundary. It's just weird.
Yeah. You just can't win.
It is bizarre to me. I mean, we've been doing it for 35 years, and they talk to you like you're a child,
Yeah. So, but like when you started, did you ever have any, like, did you feel any hate comments, I guess, before social?
They were written letters. We'd get them.
You get written letters?
All the damn time.
Who the fuck is writing a letter?
That takes a lot
There
of
was
effort.
no
internet.
There was no internet.
That's so much effort.
We would get written letters. A lot
Dear Mark, I fucking hate you. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. One time we got just roasted from a hunter safety coordinator or teacher in a different state, and he went through our entire video and broke it down about every safety ethic we had broken, and we were like, well, he's probably right on some of the stuff.
So, all right, you got me.
It drew awareness to the fact that, and he was like, Mike, I'm teaching a lot of kids, and you guys got to do better. So that was one of the first times we were like, he's right,
Yeah.
But we used to get letters all the time. Hell yeah.
Letters is funny, dude.
A lot
That's
of good
hilarious.
ones too, but we would get a lot of hate mail.
God, I encourage anybody that wants to hate on the internet, please write us hate letters so we can frame them.
You should give your address so you can get some actual mail.
Here it
You'll get
is.
them.
New Windsor. No, I'm not doing that.
I mean, why not?
I mean, we have a P.O. box.
Yeah, it's got a P.O. box.
That thing would be
like a
full.
little black box full of these letters somewhere. Did you keep?
Should have
any of
kept
these things?
those.
Oh my God.
Terry might.
We could
He
make a
sent me
segment on the podcast just reading those letters.
Just pull them out.
Yeah. Okay.
He sent me a letter this
Letters are
week that he found on his desk, and I literally died when I read it. It was from Gene Winsel, and Gene wrote Terry, or he wrote me on 8/21 of 09, and then I sent it on to Terry because it was a really funny letter. He knew we were baseball fans, but it's a long letter. I'm not going to go into it, but it's funny as hell, as only Gene can be.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, and I hadn't communicated with Gene in some time, and I had a number in my phone, and I said, "Hey, Gene, this is Mark Drury. Is this still you?" He goes, "Yep, it is." And I was like, "Well, that's pretty cool." He's like, I'm in Ohio doing a bunch of Amish shows. We have a big following among the Amish. I'm getting too old for this attention. Stay well." So Gene's still out there grinding it, buddy. Now
That's awesome. I've never met him.
there's one of our greats, goats, and he's still out there doing shows out in Ohio. I don't know how old Gene is. He has to be in his late 70s, I would assume, mid to late, I would assume.
I've never met him. I don't believe anyway.
Superbly nice people.
Yeah.
Superbly nice. But he was kind enough to write that letter back. But it was still on Terry's desk.
That's
so
hilarious.
If anybody's got
nine's still a little late for writing letters too, but I guess for his age it makes sense.
Yeah, certainly. But if anybody's got the letters, it's Terry. So
that's hilarious.
He needs to clean that desk more often.
A hate letter's so funny to me.
Letter's still on his desk from 09.
Like you drove to the
16
post
years
office.
it's been laying there.
Right.
That's funnier than a hate letter. Yeah.
It's been laying there 16 years.
That's insane.
It's like, what the hell? By the way, you like the...
I saw that. Nice.
Yeah, it's on my man shelf up there. Hey,
nice.
While we have a little dead air, wanted to gift you a bottle of our Kill Bottle whiskey from Ledrock Distillery.
How nice is that?
And,
awesome.
We'll hook you boys up too. I just had one set out for the table, but
Awesome.
I got
Thank
it.
you.
I figured if I gave it to Mark, Daddy could keep you guys in line so you can get work done.
Absolutely.
So,
That's sweet, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's a cool thing that we're able to do this year.
Absolutely.
We've been working on for a couple of years.
It's a beautiful label.
Yeah, we thought it'd be
cool.
cool to lean into the actual. I mean, the kill part is harsh, but the actual
meaning behind it is awesome.
Yeah, big time. Yeah.
It's not about a
It's
deer that's
perfect.
alive. It's what we do.
Yeah,
So,
it's perfect. Yeah. Celebrate after the hunt.
exactly. So we've been having fun with that project, and it's been doing really well. So
I gifted Terry a barrel. We did a private barrel, and we posted that in Deercast, and probably the most hate we received in the last 10 years was that post.
Why?
They destroyed us. The alcohol. Just
what?
Just
God, people don't want you to have any kind of fun.
That is true.
They just don't agree with it.
Yeah.
They don't drink it, or they didn't want it associated with hunting in any way. But we got literally roasted over it.
That's insane.
Even on Deercast.
It was on Deercast we got roasted. We didn't even put it on social.
See, I don't understand that. I do not get it. Like, it's what do they want you to be?
Not drinking.
Sober.
They want us to be sober.
Have your hunting show, but don't kill anything. Don't have any fun. Don't drink in camp. Don't laugh.
It'd be like not like anybody else that does it in the world.
Well, other than the people on social media, they think that not killing shit is great.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
And they're grinding.
Yeah, 2 does all season. Yeah, I mean, can imagine what people really. There's certain groups of people really think about us because we're so opposite of, but we're unhinged.
There you go.
Well, there you go.
You heard it in the intro.
Yeah, but we got smoked over it.
That's great.
Yeah, Terry, and it was the whole post was about. I did this to surprise Terry with it. He came in. I did surprise him with it, and we barreled it, 4 years ago for our 35th anniversary, which was in 2024.
I sampled it at your house at one time.
You did.
I remember that? Yeah.
And it was really cool. And Terry thought it was badass, and he had to get in there and write a bit of a rebuttal. Like he was like, it's a gift. It's
a gentleman's gift.
Yeah, it's a gift, from brother to brother. But they smoked us, man.
That's insane because you're not like Busch Light partying, which is all fine, but like a gift of a bottle of whiskey is like further than just getting. It's like a gentleman's, like I don't know.
It's like a good firm handshake when you walk up to somebody.
Sure. Right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. It's like leather-bound
respect.
books, like sharing a cigar with the homies, that type of thing. Like, I don't know. It's like gentlemanly.
It's steeped in tradition, as much a part of our country's history as hunting is,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Buffalo Trace is what, the oldest distillery in the world or in the United States.
And we never said, hey, go get drunk and hunt.
Yeah.
It was simply a gesture, to commemorate our 35th anniversary,
You got the barrel and the blind with you.
Yeah.
You're out there. That's the thing.
Nor in 35 years have you ever seen an alcoholic beverage consumed in a Drury Outdoors product. I mean, we've kept it separate.
Yeah.
You've never seen it.
Can have a little bit of fun.
Maybe a camp beer or something, but 99.9% of what we do is alcohol free, obviously.
Yeah, well, totally. Yeah.
We don't, it's over. But, are we going to go have one at a bar once in a while? Absolutely.
Well, yeah, that's everybody. Yeah. Everybody's fun. That's why I look. It's like everybody who's mad at for whatever we do or hates on us. They're people I wouldn't want to hang out with anyway.
Yep.
And people who aren't going to listen anyway and support what you do anyway. So whatever.
They're only there to hate.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
But these are Deercast users. They're not.
See, that's what's crazy.
That crowd's usually
that is odd.
Yeah.
Really pleasant.
See, I thought, all right, do you think the growth of Deercast over the last couple of years, because Deercast is badass, and it's gotten better and better and better, and I think it's the best mapping tool available, especially in the whitetail game. Do you think because it's gotten so badass that you have people that necessarily aren't Drury followers?
Absolutely, yeah.
They're kind of like, they have to have it because it's that good.
Right, but this post was 4 years ago. It was right, our first couple years. So that would have been our crowd, if you will. So, but it is. My point is you can't ever be careful enough when you're in the public eye.
Yeah, you can't escape it. Yeah.
You can't be careful enough.
Well, we'll never run for political office of any kind. We ruined that.
I think I could now after 35 years of maneuvering, and
you could.
I think I could.
You could.
Wade,
could you think?
No.
Perry, have you ruined your chances yet?
No chance.
No chance. Okay.
You ruined it for the rest of us, Kurt.
Oh yeah. I totally ruined it for you guys. Yeah.
Actually, this day and age, they'd be more likely to be elected than I would, because I'd be, Mr. Politically trying to be correct. These guys, if you call it like it is these days, it's much more appealing. I think
he's got the polished interviews. Being way
Dude, as long as you really get in trouble when you start falling asleep. Like if you fall asleep during this podcast, then we know it's like he's sleepy Mark. We can't be having him run for office.
The last time we podcasted, you looked at me and you go, do you ever get tired? You're just tired of doing these, aren't you?
Yeah, you wouldn't talk.
I was like, am I that bad today?
Well, it was right after you guys did that. I think it was right after you guys did that 4-day deer haul.
I think it was.
I think it was just me and you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
On that one.
Well, that would
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been the one.
And I was just a little tired.
Rained.
Yeah, at one point I'm like, is Mark with us here? It's like, I'm like, damn, he didn't really want to. I know you hate podcasting, Mark, but I thought we were your boys.
I don't hate podcasting.
That's what I heard. But let's dive into a couple Patreon questions and allow this to kind of disperse the conversation from here. Audrey Foffy like coffee. That's how we got introduced to her when we met her. That's how to say her last name.
It is Foffy?
Foffy like coffee.
I always thought it was Foff. Okay.
So, what's the most frustrating thing you see new hunters do that will lead to an unsuccessful hunt? That's a good question.
Perry?
Oh, I would say not playing the wind or intrusion along those two lines. They never think of those two things, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And even when you go to someone's farm to help them out or, look at a farm for somebody, it's typically intrusion or wind direction.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of blows my mind that wind still intrusion you might not know until someone's like, "Hey, man, have you thought about this?" But
yeah,
I still see in comments, mostly on TikTok, of people talking that the wind thing is bullshit. And it's like, it's just like one of the fundamentals.
Hey, if the wind's not right, just turn around, right?
That's our favorite comment.
That's what I would say.
You're golden then.
Just turn around. Yeah,
just go on the other side of the tree.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Do you guys feel that same way across the board?
I would say agreed.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a good question. Really good question.
For sure.
All right, Corey Smith. I'm going to switch it up from everyone else. What's your favorite state to hunt turkeys in and why?
Wade, you've been to a lot of different states.
Definitely Montana.
Montana?
Yeah.
Didn't expect that one.
Beautiful out there.
Merriam's?
Yep. Merriam's, white tips, just gorgeous being out there in the mountains. So, yeah, that's definitely my favorite state.
Merriam's on the list. I think that'd be so fun.
We should go around the table on that one. That one's easy.
Let's do it.
Easy question. I'm Iowa.
I would be.
Why Iowa?
Oh, man, my own bed.
Okay.
Big, giant Easterns, gobble louder than any place I've ever been in the country, and work well.
Iowa specifically, they gobble louder.
Oh, man, they're loud. And they're just, I don't know, they act right for Easterns. I mean, it is God's gift to turkey hunters.
Okay.
If you're going to travel, I would go with Wade on Montana. But if you're going to stay in the Midwest, I would stay Iowa with Mark because there's no state, and I've grew up in Illinois, hunted Missouri and Kansas. There's no state that gobble louder, in my opinion, and just monstrous birds coming in.
Or just act better. Man, those Iowa turkeys act right.
They're behaved. The corn just makes them yobble louder, huh?
They're just large.
They're just tanks, man.
Yeah.
Big.
And I think they work better in Iowa than they even do in Missouri. And
they do. They work better.
30 miles apart.
They work better.
Interesting.
And at 30 yards, when they rip one off,
you're going to feel it.
Yeah.
You move.
Yeah. And the gobble from a Merriam is not, aren't Merriams?
Yeah, it's kind of a weaker gobble for sure.
Right.
They're just pretty.
It's just different. It's different sound, higher pitched, different terrain. So that even makes it. I'd love to take an Eastern, which of course we hunted some Easterns out there, and even they sounded high pitched like the Merriam did.
Sure.
But boy, those Iowa Easterns. How about you, Lee?
I've only shot 4 turkeys in my entire life. 2 of them were last year, so Iowa. That's the only place I got enough crap from these guys. I figured I'd try it last year. I had to call Josh in to call for me on the first one, and then I figured it out.
I'm sorry.
Spoon fed by the sparks.
Spoon fed by the sparks. Yeah.
Spoon feed me.
Bird must have been hot.
For Josh to call it in, was that a dig at Josh?
Yeah.
I'm hoping Josh is listening. I will find out because I will get a text about that comment. We will find out if he listens to the show. Don't warn him. Let's just see if he texts me.
But no, that hunt was quick, and then the second one was a 2-year-old I called right off the roost and came in. I kind of experienced it myself. That was my main goal, was to kill the one.
Good for you.
all on my own.
Isn't it awesome?
It is. I've never been, but it was when it works right. My first 2 were just a grind when I was younger, and
You were a grinder at a young age.
that one was,
Just grinding it out.
It only took
a
like
3-day season.
It only took like
grind.
3 years of poking you
Yeah.
about turkeys for you to go kill one.
It was fun though.
See,
I'll do it again.
You could have been posting on MySpace back in the day, like I'm on the grind.
Kurt,
haven't seen any
I never
birds.
had a MySpace.
We had a
He's too
page.
young.
What's that?
We had a MySpace page.
Yeah, I had a Zanga. You remember a Zanga?
Oh yeah.
It was just blogs then, super gay. But yeah, Drury Outdoors had a MySpace.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. You had to. Who was in the top 8? Remember the top 8?
I don't remember. No.
That was crazy. Do you remember MySpace?
Matt took care of it for us back then. I don't.
You had
remember.
a top 8, so you selected your top 8 friends, and then
Yeah, but and then the founder was one of them.
yeah, Tom was already on your
Tom
friends
was
list.
there.
But if you were mad at one of your friends, you take him out of number 1, put him at number 2. That was the way. And then you got a new girlfriend in high school, you put her at number 1. And then one day she might be being a bitch, you put her to 3 just to check her a little bit. And then, not that I ever did that, but I heard people did that. Austin. I'm unhinged, remember, guys?
Yeah, you are. I'm going to have to say Illinois just because I've only hunted one other state, and that was Iowa, and it was a 3-day hunt. So I don't have enough experience to even talk about Iowa. So I'm gonna have to
Illinois is
say
great.
Illinois.
It's awesome.
Yep.
The hunts I've had here have been great.
I've had so much fun hunting turkeys. I started in '97 and just had so much fun hunting a mile from the house.
So you've killed a lot of birds. I think
Yep.
we don't
In
really
Illinois.
lean into your turkey experience like we probably should.
Yep. Yeah, I've been doing it a long time and just having a lot of fun doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You would have hit Illinois' heyday of birds.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was good back in the day in the 90s, early 2000s. There were a lot of turkeys.
And I've still got half a dozen farms that's going to have half a dozen, 15, maybe even 20 birds on one farm.
Good.
So,
Awesome.
Yep, still good hunting there.
Great.
Yep.
I'm gonna go Iowa because I've only killed one bird, and that was in Iowa.
Have we talked about this turkey dynamic with Eric?
I don't know.
I think so. Wasn't it last year that you finally killed one? I think
Well,
that was 2
I got to
years
throw you
ago.
under the
it
bus.
wasn't that long ago.
Throw me
'cause
under the bus,
I
do it.
have had the conversation now that when I got to him, I thought about it. Yeah.
Eric's motto for the longest time was F turkeys.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And so this is funny right now.
Yeah. Because I have the worst luck with turkeys. I've been I went like 5 years in a row with Doug, and he'll go out the first weekend, call one in right away, kill one. We'll go out the rest of the season, and they just, for some reason, they'll go around us. They won't cross the fence when I'm hunting, you know.
We're bow hunting them mostly too.
Yeah, but I mean, the first 4 years were with a gun. So, I mean, I just have the worst luck with turkeys. So then I just started hating them after that because I'm like, I just can't kill them.
You just weren't good enough, so you got mad at them.
I got mad. They weren't working for me, so I got mad at
The
them.
problem was you, and you blamed them.
100%.
He was a
100%.
grinder.
Yeah, he's out there hustling,
and
sleeping
I just
in your
gave
truck.
up.
I like turkey hunting more and more every single year, and I love it. Like, I think it's the most cool experience right under everybody's nose that they don't realize in the Midwest. Like having one come in and doing the drumming, like that's a cool experience. A lot of people don't realize, especially if you're a deer hunter and haven't got into the turkey or anything. Like kind of what Lee was talking about.
And I never had that experience where they come in drumming until last year at Turkey Palooza, and like I can see it now, like how everyone gets into it.
Yeah, definitely. Illinois, just because born and raised and killed a lot of birds now in Illinois. But like my favorite hunt was last year. I killed one with the boys from Cartel, Tyler Breen, and he's hunted with a lot of. Those boys are obsessed. I think you've met Tyler Breen before, haven't you? He's filmed for Tech a lot.
Rob introduced me to him via text. I remember that. I don't know if Tyler and I have met or not. I know he's really ate up with turkeys, though, from what Rob said.
Yes. You would love him.
Yeah.
Like, well, we're going to be at NWTF, big announcement with Cartel Calls. So our booth's going to be right next to Cartel. And so you guys would hit it off. He's so fun to turkey hunt with. Like, I learned so much from just like he would talk about stuff. And he's not meaning to be like, hey, I'm educating you. Like, listen to what I'm saying. He's just passionate about it and talking. And then you just learn so much from somebody like that just loves it. But
super educated and intelligent on turkeys. Probably the most educated guy I've ever talked to on turkeys.
yeah, he's obsessed to like
with turkeys.
like an addiction type problem, you know. So yeah, I don't know. Turkey season's coming in hot. You know,
It'll be here before we know it.
This is going to launch probably after NWTF show, which we got to talk about some stuff with NWTF. You've been hounding us to go forever. And
can't wait to see your reaction to that.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. But you got a big deal going down at that show, right? Is that where
Sounds like it.
the whole thing goes down?
Saturday.
On Saturday night at NWTF. So when will this launch? Let me double check real quick. This will launch the week after.
So congratulations, Mark.
Yeah,
Congratulations, Mark. You're inducted into the Hall of Fame.
They have a Turkey Callers Hall of Fame, believe it or not. Yeah. So honored to.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Honored to be going in with Jim Pollard, one of the best callers of all time, and Ernie Calandrelli, a dear friend of mine, and Terry's, and everybody that meets him. Ernie's Mr. Turkey as far as I'm concerned. I mean, he's such a good guy. So, and he's been on our podcast before. He's been on with Matt and Tim, and he's just a good guy. So I'm honored to go in with those two gentlemen.
That's awesome. I want to meet Ernie at the show.
You will, for sure.
Yeah.
He'll by the Quaker Boy booth.
Okay.
You should meet Chris as well.
Okay. Yeah. I know Ernie just because
Chris
he's on
Kirby,
the
I'm
podcast,
speaking of.
He just seemed like I don't know, just like a dude you'd want to hang out with, have a cocktail with, and honey.
That's Ernie.
Yeah.
That's how I met him. I went to Dallas in 1987. I was 20 years old. It was my first Grand Nationals, the first time I'd qualified for it. I go in, I'm nervous as crap. I don't know anyone, right? I'm from St. Genevieve, Missouri.
Yeah.
And I walk in and I go to the bar. I'm 20 and I'm like, man, I wonder if they'll serve me. So I ordered a beer.
How dare you?
She serves me. She doesn't card me.
Yeah.
And I look over to my left and it's Ernie Calandrelli 2 seats away. And I said, hello, Mr. I knew of him through the Turkey Call magazine. This is 87. And I lived for that to come out. It was bi-monthly. And I knew who he was because he was a really competitive caller back then. And I said, hello to him. And we sat there and talked and got drunk for 3 hours. And he talked to me that first day like he does now. It was like he had known me his whole life. And he just made me feel so welcome and like I belonged there. And I can't wait to share that story during the induction because that sums Ernie up in one little story right there.
That is awesome.
Here's a 20-year-old kid, and he treated me like I was, we'd known each other our whole lives.
That's cool.
So cool.
He was, I guess, significant amount older than you then if you he'd been doing it for that long.
Yeah, I would think Ernie's probably in his early 70s. He's probably maybe a little older than Paul. Paul's 70, he'll be 74. So Ernie's probably 74, 75, somewhere in there. And excuse me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
But he was enough seasoned in the game that 20-year-old Mark was like, oh my God, this guy's sitting right here.
Yeah, certainly. So he would have been in his early to mid 30s at that time. So yeah,
That's awesome.
In the prime of his life, and made me feel really welcome.
That's cool. That's a great story. Well, congratulations. I'm
Thanks,
excited
I
to see the
appreciate it.
show because we're recording a couple weeks before that. And Doug and Erica, you guys have been, but I've never been to the
there.
show at all. And we're going as a vendor.
It's something.
And we went back in 13, and it was crazy then. I could only imagine now.
It's insane how good it is.
Yeah.
And it's at Opryland. It's in Nashville. Like, everybody's in a good mood, starting to warm up a little bit. And it's just a lot of fun.
This question I really like. Tyler Trendy. The amount of awesome ground you have and being so well known and such an icon in the hunting industry. Have you ever had issues with trespassers? He's got to have a story or two. Also, side note, I have the black and clear buck growl you guys were talking about on Ginsburg's episode. Freaking love the thing, man. Keep up the good work, guys. So we always talk about the old mad buck growl call.
Absolutely.
Austin's like the biggest fan of that.
I'm obsessed with it.
But
yeah.
Great question, because I always kind of wondered that too. Like, do you get a lot of riffraff on your lines or trespassing or?
Yeah, certainly. Especially with shed hunting. Seems to be more the issue than hunting anymore. We know all of our neighbors real well, so if somebody needs to track a deer, or we do, it's a quick text and you're gone, So during the season, you don't really deal with it too much, but shed time of the year. They caught a guy last year.
Would you kill him?
No.
No, he was, got a ticket and got a trespassing, issue from DNR, and
it was him and 5 buddies that were in there. So
is it just like the allure of let's go trespass Mark's farm? Like, how do they think they're going to
there?
Those shed hunters do.
Yeah, how do they think they're going to get away with it? That's what with all the cameras.
I don't know. We caught another guy with we were told he was doing it, so baited him up with some shed antlers with cell cams, and
we got that one.
Got that guy too.
You baited him?
Oh yeah.
We just put shed antlers about 50 yards inside the fence on our side.
Is that entrapment?
That's great. Hey, you're just monitoring how many mice are going to chew on a shed antler in a 5-day span.
Put some stealth cams up in the trees, and
it didn't take many days.
No. Yeah. Oh yeah, it didn't take long at all.
What? All right, I I just won't do it. So it blows my mind that someone thinks they're going to do it on like your farm. You know what I mean? Like you think that you're not.
Well, that's the attraction, though. They're assuming, hey, there's no sheds on my side of the fence. They got to be over there. You know, when in reality, they're probably not on our side either. I mean, we don't.
In reality, the unfortunate part is like when we talked to the kid that was doing it this past year, this past shed season. You know, Wade and I stood there and talked to him and said, hey, you know, you're not stealing from Mark. You're not stealing from Wade. You're not stealing from us. You're stealing from the catcher room kids. Because all those sheds,
everyone
go to that program. So
they all
and
go
a lot
to
of them
dream
don't,
sheds.
you know, there's most of those people probably don't even have any idea what those sheds are even going for. They think, you know, that's a nice shed or whatever. But like in reality, it's stealing, you know, the opportunity from that kid.
Yeah.
You know, let's double down and say they do know, and they're the ultimate POSs on the
Could
face of
be.
the earth.
He definitely didn't know because when we told him, he like, you know, you could see him like,
oh shit.
Yeah, it made him feel bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the best trespassing story is the morning that Perry is trying to, ask Marissa to marry him.
Oh God.
And he's trying to do it over a dead turkey. So Wade is filming, Marissa's hunting, and this was a 3-day ordeal. It was supposed to be done day 1. Well, this is day 2.
Yes.
We had a bird red hot, moosed it, but you guys take it from there.
I roosted a turkey on a river farm. We're like, you know, he's off this point on the river. He's got one field to come to. I mean, he could have gone to other parts of the farm, but he was just in a good spot.
Yeah.
So we go in that morning early. Wade's with me. Coondog was with us. Wade's filming. Marissa's hunting. And we put a ground blind up. We're all in it. Bird's hammering off the roost. You're like, oh, he's going to fly down. I've got a ring in my pocket. And we've been hunting for the last 2 days to try and get this proposal done.
Yeah, yeah.
And
What a
Perry's, you know, getting a little bit more intense because it's just not happening like it normally does for us during turkey season. Like,
we killed a turkey 20 days in a row. Like
we had
almost every day. And then we got the proposal bird that we set aside.
We set the best farms aside.
Yeah, to try and get it done. We couldn't get it done now. So turkey gets off the limb. We called to him 2 or 3 times, answered. He's coming up the ridge to this field. All of a sudden, you just hear the turkey alarm putting, and we see him going hard right. Well, here's 2 guys hunched over, coming up the ridge.
Like you would see in a hunter safety course. Right?
Yes, what you're not supposed to do.
See in a cartoon.
Yeah.
Yes. And so, spooked the bird. My mind went, I went off hinge.
And the bird was coming. He was dead.
Unhinged.
I went unhinged. Yes, I belong right here because I was unhinged. Wade and I take off running
To get them.
To get them, yes. And we were running through the timber to get these guys, and we catch up to him, and I just scream, "Hey!" You know, yell at him, and he instantly turns around and looks at us, and he goes, "Where am I?" That's exactly what he said.
Holy,
where am
Were
I?
they running away from you, or they were still trying to
They
catch
didn't
the
know
bird?
we were there.
Even though that we're sitting in a ground blind in the middle of the field, like
With a
they were-
decoy, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
probably 10 yards off the edge of the field, but if they would have just looked to the right, they would have seen the ground blind.
They were probably, 100 yards from us. Our setup, we were off the edge.
Where am I?
So you close the distance.
Is that not the best trespassing line? Where am I?
Where am
You're
I?
supposed to know.
That's when you know you've been caught.
So I was so mad, I honestly couldn't even speak. Like I was just beyond pissed. Wade starts, telling him what he did and he's trespassing and blah blah blah. And the guy had a bag of morel mushrooms that he had also trespassed stolen. He offered those to us. You guys want my mushrooms? We were like, no. Blah blah blah. Game warden called. The whole 9 yards. But yeah, that was the best trespassing story.
And he was with that kid probably 10, 12 years old. Like,
Oh, it was a
just
kid.
young kid. Well,
Teach
and his dad.
him young.
And
His son
he was with his dad.
His son was standing there with his gun just.
Shaking.
Like a toy soldier.
He
Just
kept his mask up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All you could see was his little eyes peeking through.
I thought for sure you were going to say
scared
this turkey was
shitless.
coming in. They just shot him right in front of you.
If they would have stayed where they were below the ridge, and we would have kept yelping the turkey in and it was coming, they might have had that opportunity, but they
were just walking around aimlessly. Like,
it was odd.
Like they're not even good trespassers. They weren't going to kill the turkey regardless.
Terrible entry exit on their part.
They were going to kill the turkey regardless.
The butt kicker was the neighbor. Like he knew exactly where he was because he owned 600 acres bordering this farm.
Correct.
Oh, geez. And he had to be on yours to.
Yeah.
Hey, brother, what's up?
And it wasn't a farm I owned. It was a farm that we've hunted for years that we have permission on, but Tom doesn't allow anybody else to hunt it.
Yeah.
So it was just wild. But
where am I?
Luckily, where am I?
It's the
He turned around. We're like 40.
I hope he's listening to the show.
We're like 40 yards away from him, and we had got done running, and that's when I screamed at him, "Hey," and he turns around and he just goes, "Where am I?"
The guy rehearsed that, looking in the mirror.
With the shed hunting, trespassing, do you see more of it as like neighbors or like completely out of state?
No, it's out of state.
Out of state.
Into shed
for sure.
Off the wall, out of staters.
Our buddy Steve Snow caught a guy a few years back, and that guy had maps to every farm in the area, my name on it, and several landowners in the area, and he had hundreds and hundreds of sheds. He'd been doing it for years. He was a professional shed poacher.
That is insane to me. Like, it's so much effort. You know what I mean?
And it's still going on. Like people, when it comes to those sheds, they just freaking, because they're in and out so quick. They're like, they ain't gonna hurt nothing if I walk through here. It's a lazy Wednesday afternoon, and March the 3rd or something. I think nobody's around. That's what they think.
Get you in the middle of the day, or while everybody's at church.
It was Sunday. The kid that we caught last year, it was a Sunday morning, and my new house happens to be about 5 minutes from that farm. So I was there in no time.
Yeah.
And he come around the corner. Wade met me there a little bit later. The kid comes around the corner to go to his car, and he goes, "I know you guys."
Perfect. And
Wade and I are standing.
No shit.
He knew he got his picture taken because he went down in the woods and changed.
He changed his shirt, took his gloves off, and I think he might even had a different hat on. And he had a backpack.
So tell me he wasn't ready.
Well, he knew exactly what he was doing.
Oh, yeah.
But even to trespass on anyone's place now, especially if they're a deer hunting farm, there's going to be a non-cell cam, or more than likely nowadays a cell cam.
Yeah.
And or you just run into somebody doing something. It's like that doesn't even cross my mind. Like, I know how many trail cams I run.
Right.
I can get 20 yards over there and you're done. Like,
we've all said that, like driving by a piece, like, oh, that'd be awesome to shed hunt. But I've never thought, what if I just sneak in there quick?
No.
In and out.
That's
It's
bad
crazy.
thinking.
We've had neighbors like that shed hunt, drive their four-wheeler next to the fence line or whatever, see a shed on us, text us, "Hey, there's a shed by so-and-so corner," or whatever. Like, it's just, we do the same thing.
Neighborly, yeah. Hey, go get it, or if you want me to grab it, I'll run up to the house, or...
We do it all the time.
Right.
Yeah. That's crazy. I love that question, though, because that's something I've always wondered. Because with, Deercast and Onyx and whatever other mapping stuff, it's easy to just be like, oh, there's Austin's farm.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, is the other way. There's no excuse for trespassing anymore. There's no.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Everybody has Deercast, Onyx.
If you do trespass and get caught, ask, "Where am I?"
That's the first thing you should ask.
That's the key to getting out of
Where
there.
am I?
May or may not work, but it's a good way to open the conversation.
But I bet you now, like in court, if you say, "Hey, you have Deercast or Onyx or Google Maps would."
Yeah, you can't plead.
You can't get out of it.
You can't say I'm dumb.
Trespassing in Iowa, what is it, like $160?
I don't know what it is.
No, your first offense is $500.
Oh, really?
And if you get dinged twice in the same day, your second one's $1,000.
In the same day?
Because
I learned my lesson on the first one, I think.
Yeah.
The first guy.
So don't get caught.
The first guy we caught with the shed off the fence line and the cameras, he got dinged trespassing on a different farm the same day. He got
oh shit,
got it all.
There you go. Crossed another cell cam.
What are we doing?
And the game warden was like, "Do you want to, do you want to prosecute?" And I said, "Not really. I just want him to stop."
Right.
That's what I said. He goes, "He ain't gonna stop unless you prosecute." I said, "Well, then prosecute."
Hit him with the book.
I did, but I wasn't going to.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to.
Yeah, I think you have to kind of make an example, especially like.
I didn't want to. I just wanted him to stop. That's it.
Right.
Just don't go in there.
Stay on your side of the fence. That's all.
Yeah, totally. But you kind of have to make an example. Like, you see some people get popped with like game charges. Do they make an example out of certain people to kind of like set the precedent there of like, hey, don't be doing this shit, I don't know.
I've got actually a good trespassing story. This is funny. Terry and I got caught trespassing. This was 1998, and we were walking this timbered edge that was just so freaking thick. We could hardly get through it. It was just right on the edge, and all the sunlight was hitting it, and we couldn't get through it. And there was this pasture, and we had about, a quarter mile left to go, and we knew where the road was. We knew where we were parked. We were like, I want to get in this pasture and just walk it out. It's like June or something. And we get out, and it was a farm that Terry had just bought, and we were scouting it as what we were doing. We get out, and we're walking this pasture fence edge, headed to the road. And we get to the road, and here this guy flies up into his pasture. The gate's open, and he flies over through us and stops right there. What the hell are you guys doing? We're like, oh man, sorry, it's real thick on that side of the fence.
Yeah.
And we were just trying to get around, and he goes, oh, really? Okay. And well, what are you doing over there? Well, Terry said, I just bought it. And he goes, I'm wanting to sell this piece, And I said, oh, really? Well, I'm looking for some more ground. And I bought that. I bought that farm.
Didn't have to worry about trespassing anymore.
He caught me trespassing, and I bought the farm
And he
verbally.
sold you the farm.
I sold it. He sold it to me in that field.
That's awesome.
Came in pissed and left selling it to me.
Came in mad, left happy.
That's amazing.
That might be the best trespassing story ever.
It was 110 acres or so, and I bought it for $400 an acre.
Oh.
Yeah, get you some of that.
Yeah, you got any more of them laying around?
What year was that?
98.
What was I doing at 8 years old? Being just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Not buying ground.
Could have been
grade.
investing.
I was in third grade, not doing anything with my life.
Learning my ABCs or something.
Yeah, just being a child, just worthless stuff.
Could you imagine picking up 100 acres in Iowa or 110 or whatever it was for 40 grand now?
Like, I looked, when my dad was alive, I remember being like, hey, the fuck were you doing? Like we could have had a generational farm here, and he's like, I didn't know, but I mean, was that expensive at the time? Maybe not. I don't
As compared to Illinois, no, because Terry owned ground in Illinois at the time, and it was all over 1,000 there then.
in Illinois it was?
Yeah, 1,000. Illinois was always higher than the rest of the Midwestern states.
Because of just farming stuff, or was just
Demand.
Over
It
the
was a
counter?
much more popular because of Pike County, Illinois.
Oh, right.
There were a lot more hunters. It was a bigger destination. Southern Iowa that was unknown territory back then. I mean, nobody was doing that.
Why? Well, how come I can't believe that it wasn't just as
It just
popular
wasn't popular.
Yeah. Who was the first person to like put that area on the map then of being like the
You're looking at him.
right.
We probably didn't help the prices there, but
You're looking, he's sitting right here.
but the Kiskies were filming then as well. So was Jay Gregory. So was Steve Snow. So there was a lot of attention in that area that was soon to follow with some giant deer. Right, we killed some big deer early on in those early years in Iowa. So
And Lee Lakowski put him on the map.
Yep, Lee was more southeast. I was talking specifically that area, but yes, of course, Lee. Yes.
Yeah.
But this was more south central, and we were all in the same county. Myself, Jay, Don, Steve Snow, we were all within a few miles of each other.
Yep.
So, but yes, of course, Lee, but he was 3 hours east of us.
Yep.
So, yeah, we probably brought some attention to it, and we didn't realize we were doing it. Like we didn't
Just doing it.
we were just doing what we do. We didn't realize the attention that would follow. Really, all the deer. It wasn't with intent.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I get that. Especially
You don't know till you're looking in the rearview mirror. Oh wow, we kind of caused that. But we didn't know it.
Yeah, how would you know? Because
Well, there's
especially
no
with
way to
social
know.
media, and all that. But like,
we had no clue how popular whitetails were. That's as honest as I can say. Like we started out in the turkey industry. Our first 6 videos were turkeys, and then our distributor was like, "You really need to get into whitetails. I sell a lot more of them." Oh, okay. We came from St. John County, Missouri, and deer hunting was popular, but so was turkey.
Right.
So, what I saw was the NWTF. That was my introduction to the outdoors. I went to that show and I was like, holy crap.
everybody's here. Yeah.
Everybody's here. We need to do a turkey video.
Yeah.
So we did, but then it was really deer. It took us a while to figure out just how popular deer hunting was.
Yeah.
And then it was getting more popular as our videos were more popular. So it was kind of a boom that we didn't realize was going on.
Yeah, that's interesting. I can see that though, for sure. Because like Pike County, you don't hear about Pike County anymore at all.
Well, back then, that's all you heard about.
That's all you heard about.
Buffalo County, Pike County.
Yeah,
They
which
were
is
the only-
weird because they're not even close.
They were the only 2 counties in the country anybody talked about for the most part. They were they were certainly the two most popular, Buffalo in Wisconsin and Pike in Illinois. And now you don't hear Pike County in Illinois.
It's because there was so much popularity back then. It just kind of drove everybody there, and they maybe shot out a little bit.
Oh, yeah, we sold out. Terry, I didn't own property there. Terry did. He sold out and moved to Missouri because it got so popular. Oh, my goodness. Pike County in the early 2000s to,
that was the big network TV days, right?
Oh, yeah.
That time frame.
Yeah, Pike County was insane how many people were there. And we enjoyed it because we'd go to the Red Dome every night in Pittsfield and sit there and eat dinner and sit at the bar, and we'd meet all kinds of people from all over the country. And, we saw the demand.
Well, Pittsfield's also where Whitetail Properties was founded, right?
Dan Perez, sure.
Dan Perez, yeah.
Yep.
So was it just like the outfitters in TV shows kind of like took Pike County from Giant County to 120 County?
It kind of did, slowly but surely. You hate to say that. And I'm sure it's amazing now again because I think some of that demand has
genetics
calmed
still
down.
got to be there, right?
Oh, of course the genetics are there. But when we first went there were some megas in that county. Really, really good.
That's so interesting. Do you remember hearing about? I remember hearing about Pike County.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was young though. Like I was 10 to 14 at that time.
I was going to school at Western Illinois University, graduated in 05, so I was down there during like the golden time, but I had a bunch of fraternity brothers that would live down in that area. So I'd see the pictures and the deer they were killing. It's like, man, they live in the heart of it.
Austin, did you ever have any girlfriends in school that lived in Pike County that you kind of...
No, not Pike County. I was stupid. I went to the east more than south.
Come on, knowing you, I was like, Austin schmoozed his way in there on a couple
Should have been using
permission
farms.
pieces.
If I'd have been smart.
Some overnight permission pieces,
Yeah, and who knows what was really around because that was, trail cameras were just starting to become a thing.
35 millimeter trail cams at the time.
For sure.
Oh, yeah, probably.
But like I killed that first big deer that I ever killed. That was in Pike County and on the cover of, what was that, what the hell was that? Whitetail Madness 2, I think. It was a 195, and at that time it was the largest wild whitetail ever killed on video.
Wow.
That's
and
awesome.
I killed him in the river bottoms in Pike County. That was 1998. I killed that deer.
That's crazy.
So all through the late 90s and into the early 2000s, it was a very, very popular place. We started hunting Pike County probably in 93-ish, 94, somewhere in there.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
See, it's crazy that it's neat to think about that one spot could be concentrated as so awesome, spot a county, but see, that's still pretty concentrated, that it brought that much.
Oh, man, did it bring that much.
What
yeah,
was the name of
it
that
was
big
full.
outfitter? That was
Hadley was a big one.
yeah, okay, that's the one. Yeah.
Yep, Hadley was a big one. Heartland was a big one.
Yeah, Heartland was the one I always
heard
heard
Hadley
about.
Creek.
Hadley Creek
It
was
seemed
the
like
monster.
That was one you heard on all the
Yep,
videos.
Hadley and Heartland were both real
So
big.
in those heydays, was Hadley around or Heartland, interchangeable? I don't know much about them. Were they around
certainly,
in the early?
certainly Heartland was. That's where we met Stan Potts.
So that was the early 90s?
Mid-90s.
Mid-90s?
Yeah, because when I did Mad, that was 1995, I did a video called Power Calling, and Stan is the guy I used for the interviews in between. And that was with Mad, and I had met Stan the year before, so that was 93, 94 we were hunting over there, and we met Stan. So we'd already been there a few years because Heartland happened after we'd been there a few years. So we started there maybe in 91, 92.
Wow.
Damn. So I wonder, when they had that at the... Because that was before Pike County was known, I'm sure, in the early 90s, as far as a public knowledge. I wonder what the leases and I wonder how much did Hadley or Heartland have control of under leases and permission and owned ground?
I don't remember that. It was thousands though. It wasn't hundreds. It was several thousand. Yeah. I think it was 30,000. Yeah, I think you're right.
Because it kind of would have almost pick of the litter to a certain point. Maybe not. I don't know.
Before it got popular.
I was 3.
You would think back then that they did.
Yeah, it would seem like it now looking back.
Yeah.
But it's I think about that a lot. Austin, you've talked about it. If we could take our hunting passion now and put it into the mid 90s, it's what would we see?
Yeah, it's just fun to think about what would have been walking around, the amount of pressure that was going on back then versus now.
Yeah, was it? It had to have been significantly less.
I feel like the pressure was more then.
Really?
Really?
Where we were hunting. I feel like it was.
Well,
They were everywhere. In Pike County, it was insanity.
Yeah.
We were walking to our stand one morning, and we're walking down this fence row, and all of a sudden we hear, psst, 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 psst. We look up. The guy's in a tree stand right on the line. Are you guys the Drurys? Are you the Drurys? We were like, yes. We're going to our stand. We kept walking. So we hunt.
He just goes, where am I?
So we
It's the
hunt.
same fucking guy.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
So we hunt. We come out, and he's waiting for us, right? You know. So we shot the shit with him then, but we got down to the county road and shoot the breeze with him. But there was a lot of pressure then. But then in '97, I bought my Iowa farm, and there was nobody around.
Yep.
See, that's crazy to me.
No one.
Except
And I was like, I'm done with Pike. I'm going to.
except the deer driving crews.
Until gun season. Then they were everywhere.
Yeah.
Come out of the woodwork.
See, I would say in like the late 90s, where I'm from anyways, there was very few people. Like I would say now where 80% of people are bow hunters, I would say it would have been like 10 to 20 back then were bow hunters. I just didn't see a lot of people that were bow hunting in my area.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah. So what year did you start bow hunting, Austin?
97.
97.
Yeah.
So, and how old were you at that time?
14.
So yeah, how long do you feel like before you were like, oh man, there's a ton of bow hunters then, and where you were at?
Mid 2000s.
Oh really? That
Like
long?
early 2000s, mid 2000s. Before it was like a lot of you go to a high school and half the kids bow hunt. Like when I was in high school, out of the 4 grades, there was 3 or 4 that bow hunted.
It's really interesting to like think about that now, because like now I always view like all musicians and actors and everybody famous is like moving to Nashville. I look at Des Moines as the Nashville of whitetails.
Mm-hmm.
It's south of there.
Yeah, but a lot of guys live in Des Moines, like Whitetail Adrenaline Crew, and then name it's Des Moines area, and then some.
It's kind of the hub.
Being vague. I don't know. I love that type of conversation, thinking about that stuff, like the heyday, because I always remember like do the deer, because Illinois used to do the deer check-ins. I don't know if Iowa ever did that, where you had to physically go and check in your deer.
I don't remember that.
No, it was
Iowa
never
never
physical.
Oh,
No.
Missouri did.
really? I wonder, was it a call-in in Iowa then, and then?
I think it was a call in.
Back when I started, it was like just a call-in thing you do on your cell phone.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, we went. I remember when we first turkey hunted there. That was '91. We went and was it Terry or Marvin killed a bird that weighed 28 pounds, and we were like, we got to get this damn thing weighed. And we went to the local, what would have been a check-in station, and got it weighed there. And they were like, it's turkey season. Yeah, it's turkey season. They didn't even know.
Yeah, because I know in Illinois it was like college kids that would doing biology class. I mean, maybe I'm wrong on that.
Yeah,
that
it was
would do
with
this.
the DNR, and your college kids would be the one taking all the measurements and writing
Surveying.
everything down. Yep, and then you got your little deer pin.
Yeah, which I got one this year, which I think that's a neat thing that Illinois does.
Yeah,
Like,
you used to get turkey pins too.
Yeah.
oh, really? You did?
Yep. The shape of Illinois with a turkey in front of it.
I'm not too sure Iowa wasn't an honor system back then. I don't even remember if we were calling them in, or I'm not too sure. That came later, but I'd have to ask some others with better memory than me.
I was in diapers, so.
Yeah, I'll have to ask.
Was it
somebody at the DNR?
Was Illinois check-in? Like you had to go to like the local
Illinois was check-in.
gas station,
or meat locker. Or
That's how
whatever.
Missouri was growing up turkey hunting.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was so cool though.
We met Roger Clemens at a check-in in Illinois one time. Terry and I did.
Really?
During gun season. Yep, he was there with a deer. And
Yeah.
we recognized him, went over and said hello to him.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would say I'm trying to think when it ended. When I was young, I'd only been deer hunting a few years, and they ended the check-in at 03, 04.
That's what I would have guessed.
timeframe.
Early 2000s.
Yeah. And I would have been, I think I started deer hunting in 2000 because I was 10. So, yeah, and my dad killed the gyre buck in 04, and I don't remember.
Taking into a check-in.
He might have done it without me, though. I can't remember because I was in school. But this is a fun question, going back to another Patreon question. Tyler Christian, if your hunting career didn't take off, what would you be doing for work? What was plan B?
Well, I was in construction before the hunting industry, working for my dad and my uncle and Terry, all three of them. So probably construction.
Yeah. What about you guys?
Well, I was going to school to be a dentist so that I can make enough money to be able to hunt wherever I want to.
I love it. That's a surprising one. A little bit.
Yeah.
First thing he told me in his interview was that.
He said you need to stay.
I said, stay in school, son. He's 19 years old. I was like, don't do this. He was like, well, I'm trying to be a dentist so I can do this. I was like, Oh, okay.
All right.
Fair enough answer.
Let's skip that part then and just
shortcut all that school and cost of school and just jump straight in.
Did Wade ever cry early on?
No.
You never cried?
I don't think I've ever seen Wade cry.
No.
Maybe. I don't remember if I have.
You're a tough guy, huh?
Yeah.
I should say that. Yeah. That you can't go through a catch a dream weekend without tearing.
Yeah, that's fair game though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a pass on that.
Yeah.
When your baby was born?
A slight tear.
Yeah.
Just half a tear came down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It dripped.
Little weepy.
It dripped, hit the chain, gone.
Just evaporated. Hit the chain. Hit the Cuban link, was gone.
It's gone.
What about you?
I would have either been a union electrician and I'd probably still be in the service. My commander, my unit at the time held my deployment orders to figure out what my interview with these guys would have been. So
no kidding.
I had that. Yeah, I would have left if I didn't get the job here. I would have got deployed for.
You would not have stayed in the service through the Biden administration.
Probably not then. Probably not then, but
I'm going to go out on a limb and say you would have at some point checked out.
Can you imagine tolerating all that crap that went on for the last 4 years in the military?
Dude, and Trump's over here just nixing all the bullshit first week, dude.
Stomping.
Just
when I was
getting it done.
When I was still in, there was we had our first female lieutenant in combat arms unit. So that was like the first time that I was like, I don't know about this. I might be. So
yeah,
interview went well, and here we are. So.
You weren't joining the military to get like your transgender surgery paid for?
No, I wasn't in that.
No. Just checking, dude.
Yeah,
to be determined.
Yeah. Sorry if that's offensive.
Where am I?
Where am I?
Yeah.
What am I?
Who am I?
What am I? That's great. Well, we know what Austin was. Austin's retiring. Can we talk about that? I guess I should have covered that with you before I just said it.
I'm transitioning. I'm not really. I'm still going to be.
I don't think I'd use that word.
After the conversation we just had,
I'm still going to be.
Not the
I'm
word.
still going to be working. I'm just not going to be a full-time farmer anymore.
Okay, fair.
Yep.
Fair.
That's a nice place to be in life.
Yeah. Never really thought it would happen, and my brother offered to buy me onto some of the farm ground, so I'm going to do probably some more outfitting and land consultations or something.
Right on.
Something related to the industry that I enjoy doing and
keep you busy.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Got a hog barn that's finally paid off after paying on that damn thing for a decade. So it's all timing wise, it's all coming together.
There you go, guys. A killer that can come consult on your farms.
Have Austin come put on a clinic for you to talk about how to read a scrape line.
I'm going to drag you into it too. We'll do like working class consulting or something.
Yeah. This buck's either wide, narrow, tall tines, short tines. He could have a lot of mass, but all we know is he rubbed on this tree.
At least 4 brow tines. Yeah.
Well, and I say that with sincerity because there are a lot of consultants out there. There's not a lot that are stone cold killers like Austin.
Yeah, totally.
And no offense to the consultants. I mean, they're great. They're very smart with what they do, and you can learn from anyone. But it's rare to find somebody that has the history that Austin does with also the land management skills. So.
I can't believe these words are coming out of your mouth. I'm going to start blushing.
Well, it's the truth.
It is the truth. Well, that's what we've always said. Like, there's a lot of podcasts out there that never. I mean, it's fine if you go a year or two, whatever. You like, I get the hustle. You're grinding. But like, if you have a podcast that's been around for 10 years and you can kill fucking anything, it's hard to like give anybody any like. Why should anyone believe you? You know, it's just it's tough. It's a hard look, and Austin shoots a lot of stuff. That helps.
I was talking to a guy yesterday who was telling me a story about he had a consulting firm or whatever come out and paid him $7,500, and they said pile a bunch of trees here. Leave a hole in the middle, pile a bunch of trees there, and put your stand in the middle. And that's the only thing they told him for $7,500.
See, you know what I mean? You know, so you could just be careful. You know, make sure that there's, you know, like if I was going to hire somebody, I'd hire Grant Woods or I'd hire Don Higgins. You know, the guys that or I'd hire Austin.
Somebody that's putting
somebody that knows what the heck they're talking about, right?
You guys hear that?
We're gonna clip that for his consulting
I didn't know you did consulting. That's why
I've never been paid to consult. I've went and helped some buddies here and there. Obviously, I've set my own stuff up for years. I just think it'd be something fun to get into and see some new ground and shake some hands and meet some good people.
I think you're going to do very well in it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, Congratulations, though.
Yeah, I didn't know I was going to be doing it, but now it looks like I'm really getting pushed that way.
Yeah, we'll clip that, and then you'll mark like 10%.
Right.
Did I say everything you told me to say?
I think it worked out pretty well.
Okay,
yeah.
I wanted to make sure I covered all the points.
When we go back out.
Yeah.
That first consulting job, we can take care of Mark.
That's funny. I just want to trying to get some questions that have. I really like the trespassing question. That was a fun one.
That was fun.
If we get everything to level.
I'm gonna start using that for everything. Where am I?
Where am I? That's it. It's just go ahead, Lee.
I have one.
You guys need a T-shirt that says "Where am I?"
Yeah,
with a no press trespassing sign behind them.
That'd be cool.
What's going on here?
With all the legislative push to change deer things in Iowa in the last couple of years, like what is one thing that you would change about Iowa's seasons or regulations if you had your choice?
And not, whether it be residents or non-residents, I wish the gun season didn't start and last for over a month. Same comment for Missouri. Missouri's is worse, right? I mean, they just pound them and pound them and pound them. And so I wish there was less of a gun presence. But you've got to have that tool to keep the herd managed. And who could argue with the job the state of Iowa's done? I mean, it's incredible what they've done with that herd. So I always say it's one thing to manage a farm. It's another thing to manage a state and a population hunting that state. Like they can't do anything right? If you talk to the population or put a subject out, man, they just hammer we think we get hammered as a podcaster, an outdoor show. Try being somebody on a DNR's social media team because they get no love, right? And I have so much respect for both Iowa and Missouri where we hunt the most. But I wish the gun seasons were shorter, and I'm sure that's probably a common theme across the country. But I will say this. Iowa's theory is divide the pressure up, Don't put them all out there the same 9 days like many states do. Yeah. So they do divide it up. Turkey's the same way. They have 4 seasons and you have to pick which one you want and then everyone can hunt the 4th. So from that standpoint, it makes a lot of sense. But in general, I think those seasons when they were set, we didn't have the efficiency we do in our hands now for killing a deer with the straight wall cartilages. Like some of the muzzleloaders that are out there, our nitro fires are just, it's like shooting a center fire in terms of accuracy. So I think you could probably shorten some of those seasons up and give the deer a little bit more of a break. But, I'm not in charge of the DNR. I'll tip my cap to them for the job they do because it's hard to do what they do.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because especially nowadays, the landscape has changed so dramatically from so many different people buying farms and so on and so forth. It's not like it was back in the 80s and 90s. So it's difficult for them to get their arms around it. Missouri introduced the DMAP program, which we have participated in since it was a pilot program. And that has really helped us and helped our deer herd. We were talking about this on the way up. When we first started the DMAP program in Missouri, what was our number, Perry, on a doe to buck ratio?
We were 4 or 5-1 does to 1 buck. Like we were way outnumbered.
Way out of kilter. And this year it was what?
We were 2.5 to 1.
That's great.
Wow.
Yeah. So in 5 years' time, we were able to cut it down in half and get it a little bit closer to what you want, which is, I think 2 to 1 is probably about as achievable as you're going to be in the wild. They're born at a 1 to 1. But so that DMAP's been a really helpful tool for us.
Yeah. We've shot a lot
of deer. A lot of big, mature does.
Yep. DMAP?
Deer Management Assistance Program, I think.
Okay.
An acronym for that.
Gotcha. Wow, that's impressive then. So, I mean, that's got to do wonders for the herd health and just
absolutely
stress and
We've killed some bigger deer in Missouri the last couple of years since we've started.
Absolutely. That's the other thing. Our
bigger growth.
Bigger bodies, bigger growth. I mean, it really has helped.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what the next decade looks like for that, what you're going to pull out of there.
I think it'll be real good.
Yeah, it'd have to be, you'd think. That's a
and this year we only killed 10 does off the farms down there. We got our numbers in
where
check.
We wanted them, and
and it
laid off of them.
Kind of auto adjust.
That first year, what did we kill? Close to 200 or something between.
Whoa.
Not just us. Collectively, we did it with 5 other neighbors, right?
Yeah.
So it was a decent sized block, but we really hammered them that first year. And then, so we took the population down, and then each subsequent year, we've killed less and less. And we're like, you know what? Things look pretty good out here right now.
Wow.
all of a sudden we're growing beans again where we couldn't, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that just shows how off kilter it really was. If that's what you had to get
we
that
knew it.
many
It
to
was,
get them healthy.
It was out of whack.
We couldn't plant
way too many deer.
We couldn't plant a grain field in that country because it would never make.
We couldn't plant green fields.
Yeah, it was.
See, we don't in this area at least. I don't have the deer density on the properties I hunt like that. I don't. I feel like Iowa has, and I know you're talking about
this was Missouri.
Yeah, I know you're talking about Missouri there, but like, I feel like Iowa's deer density is like, I don't know, twofold might be strong just from what I see from where I am to where I've been in Iowa. Just driving the roads and seeing deer in fields. I don't see in Illinois where I'm at the deer densities in the evenings or in the mornings feeding like I do in Iowa.
Yeah, it's like my big bean plot. I had, it was 4 acres. I let the deer have like an acre and a half throughout the whole year. And then the last day of first season shotgun, I opened it for late muzzleloader. Well, by the time late muzzleloader got there, they were gone. So it didn't do me much good. I got to hunt it one time, and I saw 71 deer in a 2.5 acre field. Wow. So
wow. See, yeah,
it was about 4 or 5 to 1 does to bucks.
Yeah. So
need a little work.
Yeah.
Probably need a little work there.
Okay. One other question I have that has been brought up in our questions for us.
Yeah, that's fine.
What are all three of your opinions on like the $1 thing? Everybody that I talk to in Iowa is like, we need to be a $1 state. We need to be a $1 state. Like, I have experience like we've talked about where I grew up, because it's $1 and has been for 20 years on a 26,000 acre chunk, one landowner. So I guess what's your guys' opinion on that? Because everybody's thinking it's going to help the buck quality and this and that, but from my experience on where I grew up, it was detrimental. So I'm just curious.
Well, I mean, I can't win with this answer, but I say leave it as is. I mean, it's been the same for decades, and look at the results. I mean, so you really have to take it upon yourself to be good stewards and make the right choices, because it's just as important to have tags available for less desirable quality as it is for that trophy deer. And if you watch our stuff very closely, you'll see age before beauty consistently, where we're killing older deer, they may or may not score 140 or above, So I think it's just as important to have that opportunity to kill those deer as it is a trophy.
And that's what.
So it's going to make it. You put it down to $1, all they're going to shoot are trophies.
That's exactly what has happened where I grew up. It's 26,000 acres, and it started out with people shooting 5 and 6 year old 170s, like the quality deer. And now, like my big bean field, there was $1 out there that had more than 8 points.
Yeah. So bunch of older deer that less desirable.
Nobody wants to shoot. And the ones that live and spread.
Yeah.
We had that detailed conversation. I don't remember what episode. You pitched your full, because it's like a controlled area, give or take, of a large area.
Yeah.
Of what you're saying. I'm like, oh, I never thought about that, because
biggest sample size you'll find.
Well, Illinois is over the counter for non-residents, and I can kill $2 back to back as long as I have tags in my pocket with archery equipment here in Illinois, and we kill great deer. And I think, but I did kind of grow up like, I'll kill my one good deer and then hold out for a mega.
And anybody that supports that could self-impose, right?
Well, that's one
they're
thing
welcome to only shoot one if they want to.
Right.
I bet if you look at the statistics, the number of people that shoot more than one deer in Iowa is probably not as high as you would think.
Yeah.
It's
That's
probably
true.
I'd agree.
20% maybe.
I would
that's
agree.
Just a random number, but
I remember when Missouri went from 3 to 2, like we talked to the DNR about that move, and the people that filled 3 buck tags were less than 1% of the bow hunters.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I totally believe that.
Very low number.
Yeah, I would be curious to see like what bow hunters in Illinois fill both their buck tags with archery equipment. I don't know.
a lot less than you think.
I would say, sure.
Yeah.
Especially if you looked at, if there was any way to look at what deer were 4.5 and older in those buck tags.
Right, yeah.
That it was almost 0.
Yeah, it's low. It'd have to be. All right, one more question from Patreon, and then we're going to go get some lunch here. Lucas Salyers, what's your biggest regret and your greatest accomplishment while bow hunting? Huge fan of the Druries and WCB. Always love listening to the collabs with each other. Thanks, Lucas. Biggest regret and greatest accomplishment. That's a hard one, probably. Just dig deep. Anybody who wants to roll first. It's a hard one because I couldn't think of it right off the rip. I'd have to sit on it for a day. Biggest regret.
Man, I don't regret a lot of things. I try to look forward and not back.
Yeah.
You know?
That's good.
You should see Mark's tattoo across his chest.
No regrets.
Not even one letter.
That's my regret. I didn't work out as much as Wade.
Would it be like one that got away? Is there one that really sticks out of like that deer really he had my number and I just never could catch up with him?
I mean, every year we have those, but is there one particular? I mean, can you think of one, Wade, that we hunted really hard and we were like, I mean, we've had some neighbors kill some deer, but we're always congratulate them. I mean, but I don't know. I don't regret.
You always
looking for the next.
I'm always positive.
You always kick yourself a little bit for a treat, but other than that,
yeah, I shot that 4-year-old. Yeah. I shot a 4-year-old in 2010 that was 194, and I've kicked myself because I told myself I wasn't shooting him, and then he walked by and I shot him. That's a true story.
Yeah. That's the only time I've heard you be like,
yeah.
Dang, and I say it all the time, but and it's not a deep regret. But
that sounds terrible.
But he was 4, and I knew he was 4.
Yeah,
and I was like, man, what would he have been?
Yeah,
you know? Probably dead from EHD the next summer or something. You know?
Yeah. Well, apparently mine's only 4, so I should have passed him. What was I thinking?
Use your brain.
I didn't know he was 4 though. Hey, Ross has got a new saying. I wish Ross was here. It's like, how old was he? I don't know. I'm not going to his fucking birthday party.
He's as old as he's going to get.
Yeah, he's as old as he's going to get. He ain't turning 5, so if he's 4, then he's staying 4, brother.
Who told you it was 4? A neighbor?
I had his teeth sent in.
Gotcha.
And
I don't know about that. Don't they say it's like 1 year either side of their it's 1 year give or take? Like hell, that's a
they do. Yeah,
I heard that.
Span,
so
like
I did it with a popular online company that you just like send it in and they send you the packet. And it was great. And it was nice and whatever. You could see your results online. But I was down in Texas with a guy and he's like, yeah, because we do a lot of deer aging. He goes, but I've come to find out it's a lot of like college interns that are doing it. And half the time they're just kind of like, 4, put it back in and send it. So he pretty much said the same thing you did for the most part. So
that's where we heard it is down in Texas. Like, they say, okay, this is plus or minus 1 year. Well, fuck, he could be, 6 or he could be, 4.
Right.
Huge.
Yeah.
So what's the use?
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever.
So yours was either 3 or 5.
Or 5, yeah. And
somewhere in between that.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, what is it? So, because, I mean, looking at the body, I would have been like, all my money, probably 5.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
The other deer that I shot, I was, in my head, I almost was certain he was 6 and he came back 6. Just from sheds and trail cams and knowing the deer. And he had a chopped ear, so he was kind of easy to follow from ear to ear. The other deer I didn't really know. I thought he'd be 4 or 5, probably 5. So who knows? He could be. I'll just call him 5 then. Fuck it.
That's the best way to be able to age a deer is just having history with them. With stealth cams or whatever it may be. Just have that history year after year, and that's usually the best or about the only way you can indefinitely tell this deer's.
Unless you see it hit the ground and you can somehow track it.
There's no possible way.
Yeah,
really.
That's what makes them cool though. Like the mystery behind whitetails, even with all the cameras and glassing them up. That's what makes them awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you know what?
I mean, you could tell he's older than this age. You know what I mean? But
yeah, he wasn't 2.
Yeah, exactly.
So he ain't getting any older. No, I wasn't gonna let him get away. But anyway, so what do you guys have a big regret or anything like that you want to throw down? Jordan's camera shut off. That damn thing overheats. Well, there's our podcast.
There's that view.
Yeah. Got us about right where we needed to be.
I've got a huge regret not being born earlier so I could get in on some of that $400 ground.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, I was being a piece of shit. Sorry, that's harsh, but that's funny. Have you ever seen that meme? It's like, here's a picture of me not being productive.
Not investing in land.
It's a baby in a cradle.
Yeah.
Not
wasting time.
Not investing in land.
Probably one of my greatest accomplishments was actually this fall whenever we were able to take my son Riggs out. Mark and I took him out hunting. That was really
that episode.
Cool.
Yeah.
A really cool hunt.
It was fun.
Pretty special.
How old is he now?
He's going to be 4 here in a few days.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, my son's 3, so it's cool watching that. I had him in the blind this year. They're just your little dudes.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it's
we
really
can't
cool.
wait to take Alice and Riggs and River and Mabry on their first hunts. It's going to be so much fun for us.
That's going to be a rowdy bunch.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
The ones make it easy. I took mine out this year, and it was like I didn't take an iPad, but it was trucks and rolling around on the floor. The amount of snacks we ate in a 2-hour hunt.
You can't really count on killing something.
No.
Yeah, we went into that going, well, he may blow the hunt. If he does, oh well. But he was great, man. He was awesome.
Yeah,
and you shot something that night, didn't you, Mark?
Yeah, I did. I shot a was he 6 or 7.5-year-old 9-point that night.
Yeah, that's when you're like, sorry about that, right? I texted you. I'm like, hey, I love your like super polite apology. Was that the deer you hit high and dropped him?
I hit him high.
Yeah. You're like, sorry about that. It's like that's the most polite mid hunt comment I've ever heard. Oh, it's funny.
No, it was pretty cool. So
that is awesome.
The hunting camp has changed over the last 4 years, having all these little ones
for sure
come into camp now. So it's definitely a different game than it was 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, that's coming full circle.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have a rowdy bunch on our hands with all our kids, and just it'll be cool. Like, I guess we have the responsibility to like create the traditions of getting everybody together.
Absolutely,
during season
hunt camp.
Yep. Our kids are young, so we don't feel it exactly yet. But once they're, we're on the cusp of having
it's coming up fast.
Put together the traditions.
Raise them right.
Yeah,
as the memes say on social media.
Yeah,
the more you introduce them to them at an early age, the more it's just part of life.
Totally.
They're products of their environment. So take them out in the outdoor environment. Best place to raise them.
Yep. Shed hunting, especially, as long as you're on.
They love
where you're
shed
allowed to be.
That's what I was going to say. Teach them to say, "Where am I?"
Where am I? Where am I? Yeah, I don't have deer. I'm 3. I don't have deer cast on my phone. I don't have a phone. You know,
they slip through those wires real good when they're that small.
Yeah, just send the little guy over. They're not going to yell at them.
Yeah. Hey, I'm lost.
Trespassing hack. Where's my daddy? Well, I appreciate you guys coming in. It was a ton of fun.
Yeah, thanks for coming, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks
we
for
always
having
enjoy
us.
it. Thanks.
Awesome.
It's an honor.
Yeah, appreciate you guys' friendship and the support.
Our greatest accomplishment was this podcast, probably.
Yeah, unhinged.
You heard it.
You guys are drunks and we're unhinged. We just met in the middle. How's that? Okay.
Perfect.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this one. You know what to do. Go shoot your bow. Love you. Peace.